Plyometrics is a big part of what we do day to day, whether we're elite athletes, whether we're general clientele, whether we're runners recreationally, whether we play recreational tennis. Plyometrics is all about the idea of loading and then using that load to foster an unload, which is more efficient. This particular ViPR drill that I want to show you right now involves a bound laterally, but it's going to also involve some transverse plane motion as well. And I'm actually taking the ViPR, and as I hit the ground, I'm going to drive it into a shift pattern to accentuate the tissue adaptation. So, to start, we're going to begin with a wide hold on the ViPR. So remember, in the wide hold, the handles are facing away from you and towards you. So from this hold position, we're going to bring it up to chest height. Now the simplest way to do that is to have a good grip on the ViPR and to have the elbows back. So from this start position right here, we're going to perform a transverse and lateral bound. What I mean by that is the right foot, if it's the one that's receiving the energy, is I'm going to drive off my left and I'm going to turn and bound into kind of the 4 o'clock position if I was standing in the middle of a clock. So from this position I would bound to 4 o'clock and then it would bound back. Now what I want to add to that is a little bit more of a shifting pattern. I'm going to use the mass of the ViPR to accentuate the loading aspects of this particular drill. So that means that I'm going to bound on to the right leg and then reach. So what I did there is as soon as I landed, I reached and then I came back. So that bound here, the reach, and I would come back to center. If I wanted to bound then to the opposite side, I would then leave and push off with my right foot and then lead with my left as I did the same bound and reach, and then I came back. In real time, it's going to be a bound, a reach, and I come back, a bound, a reach, and I come back. So what I'm doing here is I'm loading the entire body, including the hips and abdominal wall, in the lateral angulation. I've got to rotate, so there's a balance challenge to this particular drill. And also there's going to be a quick load and then recovery. So the more I speed that transition between load and unload up, the more plyometric effect I have, and that's going to transfer into a higher degree of difficulty for this particular drill. If I wanted to decrease the challenge, I would simply step, reach, and then come back. Step, reach, and then come back. So this is a very integrated way to challenge foot strength, leg, hip strength, trunk strength, and then upper body load as I perform this particular drill either slowly or more quickly if I want to progress this particular pattern. This is going to have transfer into a lot of upright activities which require body stability. So remember, the core stability is what we generally focus on. This one's body stability, but it also allows our muscles to turn on and off. So in this particular drill, the muscles aren't on all the time. They're just decelerating, accelerating us back, and then they can turn off. And there's an important quality to having a muscular system or a neuromuscular system, having the ability for that neuromuscular system to quickly react to turn muscles on and off. The greater sensitivity we have to this, the better performance we're going to have at sport and life.